All right, let's rip through some of the other news happening in the National Football League. Phillip Rivers, new quarterback of the Indianapolis Colts. Can't get used to saying that. At least the helmet will still be white. Frank Reich, the coach of the Colts, says that Rivers knows 80 to 85% of the playbook. This goes back to the connection to Nick Sirianni, who was the offensive coordinator with the Chargers. He's now the offensive coordinator with the Colts. He may have been quarterback's coach or something like that. Maybe not offensive coordinator, but still the connection is there. So the offensive knowledge is there. That's going to make the transition easier, Chris, especially without an offseason program.
Definitely. I mean, I think that's the appeal that Phillip Rivers, had to the Indianapolis Colts, is there was going to be no learning curve. We could go in and just hit the ground running. And, I mean, watch out for the Colts, Mike. I mean, the Colts are one of those teams we just got to put there right now, especially with Phillip Rivers at quarterback, and say, to me, they're one of those teams on the out, just on that outside where we should say, watch out for them to be a Super Bowl contender. They're going for it right now. They're telling you they're going for it. They think they could go and be a Super Bowl contender this year. Phillip Rivers, the DeForest Buckner trade, okay? Their offensive line, their defensive front is really good. The linebackers, Justin Houston, they got a lot of good guys on their front four, and they can send waves at you. They got to get their secondary right, and they're making strides to do that. Got Xavier Rhodes, added somebody else too, but I get it. And I think the Colts are a team that I would say, one of those teams where every year we see a team that doesn't make the playoffs that surges up the next year and we go, whoa, where did they come from? The Colts will be one of those teams I think we should have on our radar.
Frank Reich also added that Jacoby Brissett wasn't happy about being pushed aside for Phillip Rivers, but Brissett is, quote, a good teammate, and, quote, Taysom Hill has been a very good teammate and a very effective weapon for the New Orleans Saints. Sean Payton, appearing on ESPN on Tuesday, said, first and foremost, we still view Taysom Hill as a quarterback. We spent a lot of time this offseason discussing our vision for him this season at quarterback. I think Taysom sees himself as being a starting quarterback in this league, and we do too, Chris. Lest there was any doubt, the Saints view Taysom Hill as their guy, and by all appearances, he will be the successor to Drew Brees.
Yeah, well, I mean, this is no surprise to you and I. We've been hearing the rumors about Taysom Hill and the love affair that the Saints have with him and Sean Payton especially. Hey, there's big-time talent. He has superstar-type potential. He really does. So, I think that's what he sees about him. He realizes he can orchestrate a different offense that he's never had before. And also in that interview, Mike, the Freudian slip of Sean Payton saying this will be Drew Brees' last year. He signed up for one more year or last year, however he said it. I mean, that just tells you too. So, yes, I think Sean Payton's very excited about, what Taysom Hill could be as a quarterback.
The unique situation with our team and with our quarterback, Drew Brees, is he's announced he's coming back for his final season. That is what Sean Payton said, and we were both on the same page on that
intentional
reality.
Freudian slip? Intentional Freudian slip or unintentional?
Freudian. This is the first time you used to butcher a word, then you figured out, and now you've fallen off the horse again, and you're back to throwing an extra syllable into Freudian. Not Freudian, just Freudian. I'm going to start saying Freudian for crying out loud.
Well,
the Arizona
Freudian,
Cardinals have begun contract discussions with new receiver DeAndre Hopkins. He has 3 years left on his current deal. Base salaries $12.5 million, $13.5, and $13.9. What do you think that he's going to end up getting per year?
Well, no crap. They're in contract negotiations for him. I mean, they better be. I mean, again, we're seeing two examples right now, Laramie Tunsil, Jalen Ramsey. I'd be worried if you make this type of trade, right? And then you don't, have the guy locked up and happy. He has all the leverage. So, yes, get that deal done if you're the Arizona Cardinals. And I would think that it's right up there challenging Julio Jones or anything like that. I think that DeAndre Hopkins is going to command somewhere between $20 and $23 million a year because that he's the next guy up. He's in the conversation for one of the best receivers in football, and that's the trend we always see.
I agree with you, and it is going to be a significant number. It's one of the reasons why the Texans traded him. And if they failed in any respect, they should have gotten that idea out there ahead of time so people weren't so shocked when they heard that DeAndre Hopkins was going to become a member of the Arizona Cardinals and that the Texans were getting hardly anything in return for him. One more real quick. Chris Godwin, Buccaneers receiver, on Jameis Winston. By the way, Godwin officially giving up number 12 for number 14, so Tom Brady can wear 12. What a shock. Tom Brady's wearing number 12. Number 15, the magic number, though, in Godwin's mind as it relates to Jameis Winston. He recently said that Winston should have had half of his total interceptions. Half of them were other people's faults. Half of them were Winston's fault. That's 15 interceptions for Winston instead of 30. But, Chris, every quarterback, whatever their number is, whether it's 8, whether it's 30, whether it's 2, whether it's 5, whether it's 40, there's a certain percentage that weren't their fault. So I get it. They're not all his fault, but they're never all the quarterback's fault. But they still all go on the quarterback's records.
That's right. I think Chris Godwin's kind of being nice too, and good for him. Chris Godwin he is showing not only is he a hell of a football player, but he's a great teammate and really understands the big picture. First off, very unselfish to give away the number 12. Good for him for doing that. He's been wearing 12 since he's a little kid, so it has importance to him. But he understands it's Tom Brady, and then I think he's trying to be a good ex-teammate to Jameis Winston there. But I think 15 is being kind of kind. I would say, okay, maybe there's 8 to 10 that you could say maybe isn't Jameis Winston's fault, but I'd also say there's probably 8 to 10 that were also should have been intercepted and were dropped passes and things like that too. So it's hard to defend Jameis Winston and the turnover problems he has.
And here we are well into free agency, and there has been nothing about Jameis Winston. No sniffs,
Steelers,
no rumors, no nibbles.
Call him
no
Steelers.
Yeah, I don't think it's going to happen. All right, we got to take a break.
Hi, I'm Mike Tirico, and thanks for watching. Make sure to hit subscribe for the latest news and highlights from NBC Sports.